This is the 2023 Federal Congress of the Democratic Alliance. Only a strong DA can uphold the values of freedom, fairness, opportunity, and diversity. A strong DA to build a better future. Welcome to the Democratic Alliance's Federal Congress.
Mzansi Afrika, Molweni, Sani Bonani, Huyamora, good morning and away. Welcome to the DA's Federal Congress 2023. Our theme for this Congress is a strong DA to build a better future. We are coming to you live from the Gallagher Convention Center in Johannesburg, my home city. I'm your host, Nazli Sharif, and joining me in studio is my lovely co-host, Regan Allen.
Thank you so much, Nazli. I'm Regan Allen, and over the next 2 days, we'll be taking you through the exciting lineup, culminating in the election of our DA leadership, including our federal leader.
That's right. More than 2,000 delegates are here, ready and waiting to kick off Congress 2023, the largest Congress in the DA's history. This weekend, we will be adopting constitutional amendments of the party, discuss key resolutions, values and principles to build a better future, and most excitingly, voting for our leadership who will take the DA to the Union Buildings in 2024.
The atmosphere is electric, and we can't wait to bring you rolling coverage of all the exciting moments of Congress over the next 2 days. More than 2,000 delegates from across all 9 provinces are gathered here to show South Africans that the DA is the most diverse political party in South Africa, and we are building a strong DA for a better future.
You can be part of the action on our social media pages and YouTube channel, where you can ask our in-studio panel all of your questions. And remember, join the conversation online using the hashtag DACongress2023.
To unpack all of this, we are joined in studio by our Chief Whip of the DA in Parliament, Saviwe Gwarube, our Shadow Minister for Human Settlements, Emma Powell, also Carly van Wyk, aka Citizen Carly on Instagram, who is the MMC for planning in the DA-run Stellenbosch Municipality, and Kabelo Mogatosi, the MMC for budget and treasury in Nelson Mandela Bay. Welcome to the studio, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yay! Welcome! I'm so excited. So before we get started, how excited are you to be here?
It's electrifying. You can feel it. The mood here, everything here, it's exciting, and I'm sure every single Democrat that is here has been looking forward to this moment.
I agree with Cabello. It is electrifying here. It's such an honor to be here in front of this.
And you remember, Nazli, in 2020 when we had our Congress, which was during COVID, we couldn't really gather, and we really missed a lot of what we have here, the camaraderie of our colleagues, seeing delegates from around the country, and it is so good to see everybody. It's so exciting to see our party together and united in its diversity.
Absolutely. It's truly exhilarating here. And I think that what's touched me is to see the diversity of our nation reflected in the men and the women who are gathered here today, Naz.
Yeah, so exciting.
The atmosphere is indeed buzzing. Saviwe, if I can jump straight to you, what is Congress?
Congress is a very important, and actually, as much as we've got all these fanfare and all these wonderful productions that we have here for you today, Congress is rather a serious occasion. It's serious in the sense that it is an opportunity for the party structures, from your activists to your branches to your councillors, to your MPs and MPLs, literally every single person who's a member of the party gets to be able to, some way or another, elect their leadership that will take them to the next Congress. It's important because if we are saying we are Democrats and we are asking South Africans to vote for us on the basis that we will uphold democratic principles, then we must reflect it where we see our own internal democracy. And so that is the cool thing about
Super cool. Emma, jump in. Tell us, why is Congress so important?
Well, because as Saviwe said, we're Democrats, and so we have to live by the values and the principles of our party. And that means that every 3 years, we have to come together as a federal structure and either renew the mandate of our leaders or choose new leaders. And we are guided by our federal constitution in doing this. We also have provincial congresses, and other parties don't do this, Naz. There are many political parties in South Africa who've had the same leaders since their inception. So I think that we should be very proud of the constitutional values that we as Democrats live by in the Democratic Alliance.
Carly, this is your first in-person Congress. You look extremely excited.
I'm so excited. This is much better than watching it in my PJs back at home via 2020 COVID style. So what an honor. Great to be here.
What has been your experience so far?
So far, my experience has only been that it is amazing. It's beautiful to see so many DA people across our country unified in blue. What an honor. It is great to be here.
KB, it's so exciting to have all DA members from across the country under one roof. You're from the Eastern Cape and you just had your provincial congress. Can you explain what the difference between the congresses are, provincial, and what's happening this weekend?
So Naz, very simple. The DA has a national footprint, unlike other political parties. So at the provincial level, we elect leaders who are focused on local issues at the provincial level. At the National Federal Congress, we affirm our commitment to the values, but not only that, to prepare ourselves to get into the union buildings. And I think this is what is very important with these congresses this year. We are actually focusing on taking over governments across the country, and most importantly, ushering a new government into the union buildings.
If you have just joined us, we are broadcasting live from the DA's Federal Congress here in Johannesburg. Stay tuned and remember to like and share this broadcast. Join the conversation online using the hashtag DA Congress 2023.
In just under half an hour, Congress will kick off with an exciting opening ceremony, including some very special musical guests. I've had the privilege, Regan, to attend many congresses, and the memory of amazing performers who have graced our stage sticks with me. One of the absolute talents was the one and only Ricky Rick. Ricky Rick has entertained millions of people, and we were exceptionally lucky to get the opportunity to see his talent on our DA stage. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
And his light will shine forever. Thank you to all our performers that will be participating. We appreciate you. Saviwe, questions are already pouring in.
Yeah.
People are asking, what is the vibe like? What is the atmosphere like?
I just want to describe to you, firstly, the venue looks incredible. It is really well done, and really congratulations to every single person who's helped put this together. And secondly, delegates are arriving. A lot of them have had to be seated now. We are seating by at 8:30 so that we can get started with the opening ceremony. The opening ceremony is going to be incredible. There are some really special surprises, and I really hope people can stay tuned in. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too, and I hope you guys are excited.
Emma, Congress is a pretty big deal. It's a huge production from the stage to getting all the delegates here, organizing everybody's hands on deck. Can you tell us what goes into organizing Federal Congress?
Naz, the short answer is a lot. I mean, if you look around, we've got 2,000 delegates who've traveled from all 9 provinces, from rural and urban areas to be here. We have started planning months ago. We've had to make sure that the venue is load shedding free. We've had to make sure that it's safe, that we've got backup plans in place for any eventuality, that the people here today are able to be seen and heard, that they've got voting devices, that we've had entertainers arranged for our stage. People from the Western Cape started coming down by bus or coming up by bus on Wednesday. So it's been a massive production, and I'm really, really proud of what our party has pulled off here.
Absolutely. And think about all the different moving parts, like small and big. The person who makes sure that everybody's on their transport. The person who makes sure that there's food. There's people who make sure that this venue is set up. It really is a great show by our party.
And let's not forget the team setting up this live broadcast. So it's all hands on deck.
It's truly the most diverse political party in South Africa. But currently, young people is a key component to our democracy. How does youth representation look like in the DA?
Regan, if there's one thing the DA does, it is to give opportunities to young people. Just look at this panel. We have Saviwe as a member of parliament, Emma, we have Nasli here, we have Regan, and next to me, the minister from the Western Cape. And we have so many, we have MMCs, myself, Gabriela, and just across, we have Yevla Barbara serving in the Western Cape Parliament. We have so many young activists here. We have dear young leaders being here, serving at Congress. I'm so proud because I can say my party not only takes young people as a token, but they give them opportunities and allow us to be the future of this country.
Yeah. Currently, speaking about young people, how important is it for young people to go out there, register and vote, and why should they do that?
Nasli, it is essential for young people like myself and you to go and register to vote. Stats SA says there's 12 million young people who are eligible to vote in our country. The time is now. Let us take up the power in our hands of voting. So go out, register to vote today.
Yeah. Let's just give that question to Siviwe. Siviwe, tell us, why should young people go out there and vote?
It's incredibly important, Naz, for people to go out and vote. And as I was saying to a group of young leaders last night, the country is ours to save. This crucial election that's coming up in 2024 is either going to signal the time that we turned the tide and stemmed the free flow for South Africa, or it's going to mark a hastened destruction of our country. The reality is that even if you are not intrinsically interested in politics, politics is very interested in you, where you live, where you go to school, what you study, whether or not you're able to go to school, whether or not you are able to have a job. All of these things are linked to politics. And it's high time that as young people, we get involved, we step in, and we don't let these decisions be made without us.
Yeah, absolutely. Emma, Kavli was mentioning that the DA doesn't only speak about young people and giving them opportunities. The DA actually gives young people opportunities. What are your thoughts?
Well, absolutely. We just need to look at the statistics. So, for example, in the fourth quarter of this year, there were about 169,000 jobs that were created. 167,000 of those jobs were created where the DA governs in the Western Cape. And as Siv said, you might not be interested in politics, but politics is interested in you. And we've seen that where the DA governs, people have got better opportunities and their lives are better.
And whenever young people get opportunities, we are able to grow. Cabello, if I can just go back to you. From from your perspective, we've seen at the national level where 2/3 of cabinet ministers are over the age of retirement. What does young people and youth mean to you in terms of the DA?
Yes. No, Rigan, I think what's important is taking from what Sylvia has just said and what Carly has just said. We've got 12 million young voters who are eligible to vote. And these are people who have to shape the future of South Africa, because Emma and Sylvia just said that you might not be interested in politics or think you are not interested, but it is interested in you. And what is most important is that the Democratic Alliance has got structures where you can get involved. At the institutions of higher learning and training, we've got the Democratic Student Organization, where their theme is very important, and they just simply say no student left behind, to advocate for young people who have gone through the doors of higher learning. But now, not only that, for those who might be out of institutions of higher learning, you also have the DA Youth, organized and advocates and shapes policy. And you'll see later on, when we speak about policies and resolutions, the involvement and young people speaking for themselves and shaping the future of the country. So it's important for young people to get involved, because this is their future.
In the DA, we have a speaker. That's a DA young leader. Myself, thank you, Carly, that serves as an MEC. We have Marie Wenger, also a former DA young leader, and Tertius Simmers, a DA young leader, which shows that young people get opportunity so that we can ultimately grow and take our country forward.
Amiga, I'm not going to let you brag about the Western Cape and the young people. Chief, please tell them how many young MPs we have.
Oh yes, I mean we've got an array of talent in the National Assembly. I myself am a young leader under the age of 35, and there are some incredible people like Nazli, people like Emma, who are incredible women, who are not just brilliant because they are young. They are brilliant because they've been given an opportunity to grow in the work that they're doing. And I couldn't be prouder. And I think it's so important in a country and in a continent where the average age is so young. We need to be able to have a leadership that is not detached, a leadership that is more closer to the people it is meant to serve.
Young people is not only the leaders of tomorrow, but of the now.
We are the leaders of today.
Of the now.
Something that I want to add, but sometimes we think we all need to be a politician. You don't have to be a politician. All that you have to be is an active citizen in South Africa. Stand up, make a difference in your community, in your workspace, where you have influence. Make sure all your families are registered to vote. And let's change this country.
Let's do it. Cabello, we know that you have your own story for joining the DA. Can you tell us what inspired you to join the party? And I don't only want to hear from you, I want to hear from everybody why you joined the party. Cabello?
Yeah, Nestle, many months ago, passed my grade 12 with flying colors and wanted to pursue my dream of becoming a doctor. So I went into the University of Pretoria, and when I got there, you only see the reality. I was the first in my family to go to university. Got into university, no funding, no accommodation, nowhere to go, but nothing, and you've got nothing but your dream. And what was important was to have somebody to speak for you. And it was one of the most difficult periods of my life. And even with a dream, it was not enough because it's expensive. It can be very confusing. So I failed and I got excluded. And that was a dream gone. But when I promised myself to take another opportunity, another shot at academia, I promised myself that I'm going to be the person I was looking for in that campus. I'm going to be the person who speaks on behalf of young people. Then I joined the Democratic Alliance Student Organization. And ever since, and we did a lot of work. And one of those things was, that was my why. It was driving me to ensure that no student is actually ever have their dream defied in that manner.
Our Daso days were a lot of fun.
Yes.
And running Sucking Gomso was amazing. Kathy, why did you join the party? What made you join the DA?
Well, I must say, I loved the DA from a young start. Like, people were calling me Klein Helen Zille when I was still young, because I was just like, I love the DA, I love Helen Zille. But I think it is the values of a DA. It caters for the whole of South Africa based on freedom, fairness, opportunity and diversity. We have such a exceptional constitution in our country, and this is the only party fully committed to protecting our constitution and ensure you have the rights and to ensure you can have human dignity in this country. So that's why I joined the Democratic Alliance.
Yeah, Siviwe, we'll come back to that, but I just want to check with you, how important of a moment is this Congress, and why is a strong DA important for South Africa?
Nasli, this could not be a more important Congress for us. This is a Congress that is happening just before the 2024 elections. That means the leadership that we elect here today and tomorrow is going to be the leadership that is going to be at the table negotiating a formation of a new government in 2024. If we are to believe the research that is showing us, that indicates that the ANC has fallen below 50% and in some cases even below 40%, then we have a real chance as a Democratic Alliance to push against the ANC and the EFF coalition of corruption, to build around a coalition of parties who have shared values, who value the rule of law, who value not being corrupt, who value service delivery, so that we can start to turn the tide of South Africa. So this Congress is important for us, but it's also important for South Africa.
Yeah. Emma, we've heard that 45% of delegates are non-public reps. Why is that important and what does it mean?
So Nasli, that's a very interesting question to ask. We as the DA need to make sure that we are representative of the voices from our grassroots structures across the country. So not just in big cities like Johannesburg and Cape Town and Durban, but in far-flung rural towns and villages. So we've got a very complex formula that we use to elect the delegates who come to the Federal Congress, and it's important that we've got the voices of both public representatives, councillors, MPLs, MPs who work in and with government every day, but that we also have the voices of the ordinary men and women who are trying to put their children through school, who are trying to earn a living, because we've got to make sure that we embody and that we have a constitution and values and principles that reflect the desires of the people of this nation. I think that that's why it's so important, Naz.
Activists are the backbone of this party. Without activists, we wouldn't have the DA. This is an important day for the DA and for South Africa. If you want to keep up to date with what is happening around the country, you can follow the DA's social media pages, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, alles, everything to get all the breaking news.
Delegates will also consider amendments to the DA's own constitution. This is to ensure that the party continues to function well as we work to build a better future for South Africa. To find out exactly what constitutional amendments are and why this is important, let's get closer to the action with Kwena Maloto, who is on the floor of Congress with Kevin Milam. Kwena, what is the vibe like down there?
technical issue with Kwena, but we will sort it out and get back to him on the floor to find out what's happening and what constitutional amendments are. But you remember, we asked the question, why did you join the DA? Let's get into it, Chief.
Look, I joined the DA for me because it was back in 2011 and I became part of the Young Leaders program. For me, it was an eye-opening experience. Here was a political party that wasn't forcing you to be a card-carrying member of the DA, but says, look, we see young people, we see that you have something to add, we want to invest in your future, but we also want to invest in the future of South Africa. Because whether or not you decide to stay in the DA, you will now be a leader that's equipped, that can go out there and make a difference. And that for me started to shift the way that I started thinking about politics. I got involved in the party, I joined my local branch, I started working as a staff member, and man, I never looked back.
Yeah.
So, and here I am today.
Yeah, you are Chief Whip in Parliament.
That's exactly it.
Emma?
Well, I got involved in the DA about 16 years ago.
Wow.
And I was very lucky because I grew up in Durban, and I grew up in the same road that our local branch had an office. And I remember being at university and writing a paper and needing the perspective of a sensible political party. And so I went and knocked on the door, and the local MPL was there, and he took me under his wing and he started mentoring me, and within a year I was the branch chairperson, and then I moved to Cape Town to come and work at the DA's federal head office. And then like Saviwe, I was one of the very lucky DA members who got to become a DA young leader, and that program truly changed my life. And from there I worked in government and then in Parliament, and then I became an MP in 2019. And as I think the DA difference is that it truly invests in young people, and it gives them the skills and the tools that they need to become leaders. And where we govern better. So we don't just equip young people with opportunities, but we make sure that the environment in which young people grow up is going to deliver them with better opportunities, jobs, and economic opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into it, Kabelo. Speaking about not only giving young people opportunities, but creating the environment for young people to thrive. And for us, as an example, we got the opportunity with DASO, the DA student organization. I joined DASO in 2009. I was in my first year at Wits University. Hello, Witsies, how's it? And I never looked back. So it's 12 years, 13 years this year. So just give us a quick comment on why it's important to give young people the experience to be able to lead.
Look at the panel. Look at the panel, that's it. Every single person who's here, the party has invested in them. But not only that, listen to Siviwe's contributions, listen to yourself, everyone. It is exactly that. Their contribution not only to the Democratic Alliance, and this is important, their contribution in shaping the future of South Africa. So that's the importance of it. You are not just only investing in young people within the party, but the future of South Africa. And I think the DA has been doing that thing. And it's amazing that every young person that has come through, not only have they actually been politicians, some of them staff members and leaders in their different industries as well. So the investment into young leaders is actually for South Africa more than anything.
And there you have it, a strong DA to lead South Africa to a better future. And that includes our young people. Thank you very much to everyone in studio. The excitement is genuinely palpable. Nasli, it seems that the big moment is finally here.
Yes, that's right, Regan Kenako. It is time. Dit is hier. Congress 2023 is about to kick off. We are now crossing over live to the stage behind us for the official opening ceremony of the DA's Federal Congress 2023.
Make sure to like and share this broadcast and interact with us using the hashtag DA Congress 2023. Enjoy the opening ceremony, and we will all be back here in studio straight after. Stay tuned.
That means 8 minutes.
Kijk eens aan mij.
Ladies and gentlemen, Democrats, South Africans, welcome to the economic heartland of South Africa. Welcome to Gauteng. The Democratic Alliance is working hard to build a new majority for all South Africans. A new majority to build a better future. Only a strong DA has the power to save our country. Only a strong DA can protect the Constitution. Only a strong DA can uphold the values of freedom, fairness, opportunity, and diversity. A strong DA to build a better future. Democrats, welcome to the Democratic Alliance's Federal Congress.
Viva! Viva!
Viva!
We are back again, Democrats, to officially declare the Congress open. Are you ready, Democrats?
Yeah.
Aye! Yeah, aye!
Aye, yeah.
Aye! 2024, aye!
Aye, yeah. Pambili, DA, Pambili.
Pambili!
Hoza 2024, Hoza!
Hoza!
Selector!
Sanbonani!
Aye, man. DA Dumela, let's go. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Only DA can bring good.
Hoza!
Corruption has linked the economy. Let me indicate.
Hoza! Aye, DA, aye. Let's go! 2, 4, Hoza! DA Dumela. Iyo. Just one! DA Dumela.
Delegates, Democrats, please welcome to the stage your first Master of Ceremony. He is the leader of the DA Student Organization, where they stand up for student rights so no student is left behind. Please welcome to the stage Liam Jacobs. Now, please welcome to the stage your second Master of Ceremony. She is from the Free State, and she is the youngest Member of Parliament for the Democratic Alliance. Please welcome to the stage Karabo Chachao.
Mandla, viva DA, DA, viva!
Viva!
Viva DA, DA, viva!
Viva! Hoi, hoi! Democratic Alliance, hoi, hoi!
Hoi, hoi!
Democrats, South Africans, Dumelang, and welcome to the Democratic Alliance 2023 Federal Congress! I am your co-host, Karabo Lerato Khachau. Ke twadi ya Afrika ngwanana Mosotho yena ka sebele. Mokubu ngwa motsatsa mothibedi, kubu ntsha marota re bone.
Democrats, good morning. Or should I say, dilly ding, dilly dong. Democrats, my name is Liam Jacobs and I'm very excited to be with you here today. Nou, delegates, ek is iemand wat in die Noord-Kaap groot geword het. Maar baie van my mense kom maar van die Oos-Kaap af. So vandag wil ek u baie graag voorstel aan die hemelbesem van 'n Noord-Kaap klong. En hierdie Karoo donkie wat hier voor staan vandag. So welcome and wamgeligile to all of our delegates.
The energy here is absolutely electric. We are excited to have all of you here. Now, Democrats, this Congress is the biggest Congress we've ever had. I know quite a lot of people have said it, but I don't think we understand. Never and never before had we been this large and this congregated than today. So let's give ourselves a cheers. And in this great stuff, and in this Congress, over the course of the weekend, we together will be plotting our way forward for our party and country. So among other things, we will handle our DA policy resolutions and constitutional amendments.
And Democrats, tomorrow we will be making history. The leadership elections will take place where we will be electing the federal leader, the federal chairperson of the DA, their deputies, and the deputies for the chairperson of Federal Council. But we also have individuals who are uncontested, such as the incumbent Federal Finance Chairperson, Dr. Dion George, and the incumbent Chairperson of the Federal Council, the trail-blazing Helen Ziller.
And what is also exciting is the fact that South Africans across every corner of every province and the world are watching the live feeds for all our open sessions. So it's important for us to also stream through on social media. Let's keep those timelines blue. The hashtag of the day is hashtag DA Congress 2023. Share those photos, share with everybody at home who's not watching and across the world so that we're all electrified.
Yes, Democrats, so to the thousands of delegates in attendance and to the millions and millions of South Africans watching at home, I say dilly ding, dilly dong, hala la DA, hala la.
Democrats. As the highest decision-making body in the Democratic Alliance, Federal Congress is chaired by our party's federal chairperson. Please welcome to the stage DA Federal Chairperson, Dr. Ivan Meyer.
Good morning, South Africa and delegates at the Democratic Alliance Federal Congress 2023, the biggest in our history. Our Congress theme, a strong DA to build a better future, speaks to the zeitgeist, the spirit of the time. For many of our people, life under the ANC is miserable, caused by a failed state, a corrupt state, a mafia state, and a criminal state. Under the ANC, South Africa is permanently in a state of crisis. But we are meeting here today to say, in politics, you don't waste a good crisis. Delegates, this for us is also a state of opportunity to lead and to serve. But we are also here today at this Congress to say, yes, it is still possible to save and rebuild South Africa. Dit is moontlik om Suid-Afrika weer te herbou en te herstel. And therefore we have at this Congress policy resolutions to take South Africa out of this gridlock and to rebuild our towns, our cities, all over South Africa. We love this country and we will save and rebuild South Africa. Mothers across South Africa and parents are rightfully worried about their children and their future. Parents want a better future for their children. We want a better future for all in South Africa. Ons soek 'n beter toekoms vir al die mense in Suid-Afrika. The suffering must end in South Africa. People are no longer believing the national government's rhetoric. They want to see action. They want to see results. South Africa will go next year to the polls to end ANC rule in South Africa. This Congress now serves notice to the ANC. Pack up and go or face electoral defeat. Die ANC moet oppak, want volgende jaar kom hier 'n nuwe regering in Suid-Afrika. This Congress is thus giving notice that the ANC is an outgoing government in South Africa. This Congress further gives notice that the DA will lead a new coalition government in the union buildings in South Africa. By hierdie kongres sal die DA demonstreer wat ons tans doen om hierdie elektrisiteitskrisis op te los daar waar die DA regeer. This historic Congress is the beginning of a better future for South Africa. In this Congress, we will table practical solutions to rebuild South Africa. These solutions are products of data, evidence, science, research, and a little bit of common sense. Because that no longer exists in South Africa. Evidence-based and data-led governance will enter the union buildings in 2024, and we will rewire the public governance in South Africa. DA mayors and other DA leaders will showcase at this Congress what we have already achieved to create a better life for their communities. Today, I call on all South Africans, those who are watching. We have more than 400 journalists, people from across the world. Today, I call on all the people in South Africa, become part of a stronger democratic alliance. Wherever you are across South Africa, make that choice today. Join us to change the direction of our beautiful country, South Africa. Maak daar die keuse vandag, want hierdie is 'n oproep om 'n nuwe Suid-Afrika te vestig. Join us today and press the reset button and kick out the ANC. Delegates, there is serious business before us at this Federal Congress. So, let's get on with the business of rebuilding South Africa. We need peace in our land. Let me quote from the Song of Praise, and I quote, "This is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart lies. This is where my hopes lie, my dreams and my holy shrine, unquote. But delegates, this is your country. South Africans watching, this is your country. This is your Congress. This is where your heart lies. Let us unite and rebuild South Africa. Ons moet Suid-Afrika herbou. And that's why the matters before this Congress are urgent and important. And now, by the powers vested in me, through the Democratic Alliance Federal Constitution and the Democratic Alliance Federal Council regulations, I now formally declare and confirm the Democratic Alliance Federal Congress 2023 officially open. Thank you. Dankie. Kaliboge.
The 27th of April 1994 marked the turning point for our nation. The whole world had its eyes on us, who were celebrated as the miracle nation, with a peaceful transition to democracy and an end to oppression, healed by reconciliation, not revenge. Something everyone thought was impossible became possible. Remember, seeing our new flag symbolizing our magnificent lands, oceans and rivers, waving proudly in the African breeze. That day, we saw a new, free South Africa. We, the people, united. For the first time, all races came together to build a road out of the darkness of the past and into the light. For the first time, we stood shoulder to shoulder. We sang, we danced, we cheered, we celebrated. Change and unity was no longer a dream, but something achieved. We embraced the promise of freedom. We embraced the new South Africa. Our future had never been brighter. We now had a country we could finally all call home, united in our diversity.
Yo!
much slower when we're apart. Now we're together, it's off the chart. Ready to fall in love. 'Cause we're free to love again. We're free to love again. What a feeling, what a feeling. And oh my soul, what a feeling to fall in love, to fall in love. Are we ready to fall in love? Okay. Let me see every hands clap. Come on. Hey. Woo. Come on. Hey. You know this one, we just sing with us. Still make it dark, still make it dark. Things are fun so dark. And girl, I can't even, I can't even, I can't even go around. Come on, sing with us. By my hand, everyone with us. Webuti nani haba nawe. Webuti nani haba nawe. Come on, come. Come Vicky, come Vicky. Come my place to haba nawe. Haba nawe. Come Vicky, come Vicky. Come my place to haba nawe. Multiply and weary hearts tonight. All I feel is my heartbeat beating like a drum, beating with confusion. And all I hear are voices telling me to go.
mother. I am a father. I'm a daughter. I'm a son. I believe in freedom. Freedom to earn a living. Go where I want. Love who I want. Say what I believe and pursue my dreams. I am brave. I am a provider. I believe in fairness. A fairness where our achievements are determined by our choices and hard work. I am a leader. I believe in opportunity. A nation where opportunity is plentiful and everyone's rights are protected. I believe in diversity. Every person has a unique perspective and an important role to play in building our nation. We do not judge each other by how we look, but by who we are. We are South Africans working together. We are the Democratic Alliance.
Our deep-rooted history as a party is the foundation of all that we do. Our values direct us to be the best we can be and help improve the lives of all South Africans. A shining example of DA delivery, DA values, and DA excellence is the city of Cape Town. Please welcome to the stage DA Mayor of Cape Town, Jordan.
Thank you. What a privilege it is to address you all this morning. 16 years ago, I was here in this same hall as a young DASO member, fresh out of school, attending my very first DA Federal Congress right here. I could never have imagined then that I would be back here one day, speaking to a packed Federal Congress as the Mayor of the city of Cape Town. So much has changed in these years. For one, our party is nearly double the size it was then. And we have been through triumph and setback together. And we know that much has changed in our country, and much has changed in my own life too. I have become a husband and the father of a beautiful little girl. And like every parent in South Africa, this has made me look at our country in a whole new way. I'm reminded every day that there is a generation of young South Africans counting on us to show that the promise of our young democracy is not yet lost. And we intend to do just that, starting in Cape Town. Building on the progress over the past 17 years of unbroken DA government, we are writing the next chapter in the story of Cape Town. I am so fortunate to serve as mayor at a time when the DA has a strong and outright majority. This gives us the confidence and the strength that we need to be ambitious with our plans for the future. You see, we are on a mission to build what we call a city of hope for all. That was our promise to voters when we campaigned in 2021, and it remains our solemn pledge today. And when we say for all, we don't only mean for all the people of Cape Town, we mean for all. We want the city to be a beacon of hope for every South African. because we are showing that you can have a government that cares for the dignity of every person. We want to show, we are passionate about showing that decline in South Africa is not inevitable. In Cape Town, we refuse to accept electricity blackouts are going to be a part of our future. They are not. That's why we're on track to make Cape Town the first metro to be entirely load shedding free. We refuse to accept that 4 out of every 10 people who want to find work in our country can't find any work. 3/4 of all new jobs added in the whole country in the last quarter of 2022 were added in Cape Town. And we refuse to accept that South Africa's horrific rate of violent crime can't be turned around. It can. Hand in hand with our outstanding colleagues in the Western Cape government, we've deployed more than 1,200 of our own officers in the metro's worst crime hotspots. And you know what? It is making a difference. It is saving lives. We refuse to accept the collapse of sewers, of roads, and the water grid that we see in so many other places around our country. That's why we are breaking all records by rolling out 120 billion rand in infrastructure investment in our city. Most of this will go towards upgrading the sewer networks of Cape Town's poorest communities, because we want every person to have the dignity that comes with better basic services. So we're going to out-invest and outbuild any other city in our country, in some cases 2-to-1. Instead of waiting for things to go wrong, we are rolling up our sleeves and preparing things to go right. And you know what? If this can be done in Cape Town, it can be done everywhere. We are 1 year out from the most significant election since 1994. And I am confident that the people gathered here today, this blue team, can do the same across South Africa. So let us never accept that it can't be fixed, because it can. Don't ever accept that the country described in the preamble to our Constitution is lost, because it isn't. There is nothing so broken. There is nothing so broken that this team can't fix it. Because only the DA's policies will make South Africa grow again. Only the DA can create jobs and deliver dignity to those whom poverty still robs of it. Where we govern, things work and things get better for everyone. So this is not only about a Cape Town of hope. We can build a Bloemfontein of hope. We can build a Kimberley of hope. We can build an eThekwini of hope. And we can build a Joburg of hope. The failures in these cities are not inevitable, and we must refuse to accept them. We, everyone in this hall and everyone watching at home, we have the power to change these stories and to change our future. We have the power to build a South Africa of hope. Thank you so much.
Every day, the Democratic Alliance grows stronger, from an opposition party to a party of government. From governing Midvaal in 2000 to leading a coalition in Cape Town in 2006 and governing the whole of the Western Cape outright by 2009, today the DA is bigger than ever. Bigger than the next 6 parties combined, and on the verge of bringing the ANC below 50% in the 2024 national election. millions of South Africans across the country now experience some form of DA governance. Umgen is the DA's first government in KwaZulu-Natal. Having inherited a broken municipality, it is now proudly debt-free. DA-led Midvaal is rated the best-run municipality in Gauteng and the best-performing province in South Africa. The Western Cape is set to become load-shedding free. Where we don't govern yet, the DA is fighting for better service delivery in all communities. And day by day, this DA pressure brings change. We are proud of these examples among so many others. In the Free State, we uncovered the Estina dairy scandal, ultimately delivering justice to small-scale farmers. In the Northern Cape, we are fighting the outrageous water tariff hikes. And in the Northwest, we worked to have a primary school reopened so learners would not have to walk 5 kilometers to school. In Limpopo, we exposed the abuse of millions in overtime pay to municipal workers. And in the Eastern Cape, we relentlessly fought and forced SAPS to build a new police station in Gqeberha. In Mpumalanga, we succeeded in restoring healthcare services to over 4,000 farm workers. During the devastating floods in KwaZulu-Natal, we worked to secure emergency relief for flood victims. And almost a decade later, we continue to fight for justice for the victims of the Life Esidimeni tragedy in Gauteng. In Parliament, the Democratic Alliance takes its role of protecting our hard-won democracy seriously. The DA's relentless pressure resulted in the establishment of the Zondo Commission of Inquiry into State Capture. We are fighting to have the corrupt policy of cadre deployment declared unconstitutional and illegal, as well as introducing a bill in Parliament to curb the lavish lifestyles of cabinet ministers and opposing the ANC's efforts to interfere with school admissions and language policy. Recently winning a court case to protect your right to speak Afrikaans at Stellenbosch University. We are mobilizing South Africans across the country to stand up against corruption, the cost of living, high crime rates, and the electricity crisis. The Democratic Alliance is at the forefront of democracy, protecting you from national government failures and working hard to make life better for all South Africans. It is now up to each and every one of us to unite behind the only party that can build a better future.
Democrats, let's give it up to the mayor of Cape Town. Thank you, GHL. That Democrats is a clear indication of the kind of future that exists within the Democratic Alliance and its governments. We understand why people say the DA is the only real and credible alternative that can save South Africa. So we say, Oza 2024, Oza!
Oza! In opposition, we put our gloves on and we go toe-to-toe with corruption and maladministration. And where we govern, we deliver the best for all of our residents. In fact, be it local or be it provincial, 1/3 of the Republic of South Africa experiences some form of DA governance. Van die Kaap tot binne in Modimolle Mokgopong. from Umgeni to Nelson Mandela Bay, and even from Tshwane all the way to Midvaal.
Liam, we are moving. The DA Blue Train will stop at nothing to deliver tangible hope and change in every community. Now, Democrats, what is also important is that none of the successes we hold today would have been possible without our dedicated, fresh, and competent team of public representatives, both in government and in opposition, in the National Assembly, in our National Council of Provinces, the 9 provincial legislatures of our country, and the 257 metropolitan, district, and local municipalities across South Africa.
But Karabo, we're not only moving in the councils.
Yeah.
We're not only moving in parliament.
Yes.
We're not only moving in legislature.
Yeah.
As the second biggest party in this country, we also have members.
Yeah.
We have activists.
Yeah.
We have branches.
Yes.
And we have professional party staff. And it is not just one of these individuals. It is each and every single one of these individuals that contributes and is responsible for the growth of our party. Each and every single one of you are responsible for creating a strong DA that builds a better future for all South Africans.
No, give each other a round of applause. I don't think we all appreciate each other enough, so let's give ourselves a round of applause. Great stuff. Now guys, we see you. We value you and we appreciate you. Yes, we see you, we value you, and we appreciate you too. Ladies and gentlemen, Badabesong, to celebrate the care you show to South Africans and the relentless work you put in every single day to fight for change this country so desperately needs, please welcome onto the stage our South African icon, Lloyd Cele.
Lloyd Cele,
DA, I want to dedicate this song to each and every one of you. Hope you enjoy it. It's called Make It Easy. I used to think that I was so ice cool, that I could make my heart's own rules, nothing could get to me. And you made it easy. Let me see your hands clap. And now my head, my heart, and my reason the same. And now I believe it. You want a piece of it, and I gave away. Let me see you wave your hands up. Loving you, it's like breathing air to me. It's what my body does naturally. No matter if we're alive need your help. I'll sing you make it easy. You sing to love you. Are you ready? You make it easy for me. You make it easy for me. You make it easy for me. You make it easy. Make it easy. And if the side gets hard, you make it easy for me. Thank you. God bless.
Corruption, maladministration, burning blackouts, hated deployment, corruption, blackout, maladministration, crisis of government, state capture, hated deployment. There's been nothing short of jaw-dropping.
Is South Africa a mafia state?
ANC says it's feeling the heat when it comes to corruption. But many South Africans will say, never mind the heat. Our house is on fire.
Corruption is a massive problem in South Africa.
Lots of tenders, lots of kickbacks, lots of dodgy deals.
Can we still talk about any form of integrity when we talk about the governing party? Because so many of them are implicated in corruption.
Rolling blackouts, water shortages, a shaky healthcare system, and myriad other state failures. Others say this is the cost of corruption and negligent leadership.
We are now seeing the consequences of corruption.
From higher electricity and water tariffs to higher costs of food and fuel, it now costs more than ever to survive.
These added economic pressures may be the final nail in the coffin for many.
South Africa ranked as one of the most dangerous countries in the world.
The latest crime stats suggest South Africa is a crime scene.
The unemployment rate is at a record high.
It's unacceptable that we have to bear the brunt of mismanagement, and we stand here in absolute anger.
A lack of service delivery have become the norm in South Africa.
Many municipalities have been accused of failing to deliver basic services.
Blackouts have become a way of life.
The ANC plunged this country into darkness.
The mafia state.
The ANC
state capture.
Why are we still in this mess?
liberation giant across the Africa continent has turned into the oppressor of its own people. It is about time that we completely write off the ANC as a party of the past and not the party of our future. A relic of the past that is completely disinterested in the liberation of its people from the clutches of poverty. Democrats, make no mistake, South Africa is no longer at a crossroads. The ANC has brought us to a free fall of destruction. Sithetha nje abantu abana misebenzi. Uninzi lwabantu bethu baphila nge-350 yesibonelelo. This is not a solution to the crisis of joblessness. We know the indignity of ukungabi namsebenzi, the anguish of young people who have lost any hope of finding work, who rely solely on their parents' old age grant for their basic needs. This is not the future that was promised to South Africans. Abantu bafuna ukuziphangelela bakwazi uzakhela ubomi kodwa lo urhulumente sinawo ungohlohle sabo. As we speak, Democrats, the country is languishing in perpetual blackouts due to the broken ESCOM that was looted and brought to its knees by ANC cadres. Small businesses are shutting their doors, sending more and more people into the unemployment queues. Hospitals cannot save the lives of people due to blackouts. Continuous power cuts have started to affect the provision of water, a basic human right. No business can thrive in this environment. No business can provide the much needed jobs in the current climate in South Africa. The dream of a better life has turned into a nightmare. Abaninzi apha eMzantsi Afrika baphila kabuhlungu besilwa indlala. More than 50%, 30 million South Africans are living in abject poverty. Akukho kutya, akukho mbane, akukho manzi, akukho misebenzi. The cost of fuel has risen to unprecedented levels. This has meant that the average South African, it costs them more to go to work and go buy food or go look for a job. This has meant that the cost of food has risen to unprecedented levels. Abantu abaninzi abasakwazi nokuthenga noko kuncindi. Abantu bayafa indlala urhulumente we-ANC ebukele. This is why the DA tabled concrete proposals in Parliament in order to cushion South Africans against the rising cost of living. We demanded that government slashes fuel levy and extend the list of zero VAT rated goods. This proposal was meant to go a long way to save people from sheer hunger and desperation. And you know what they said, Democrats? The ANC government refused. They refuse because they are not affected by the choices they make in government. Ministers don't need to buy their own petrol. They are driven in luxury. Ministers don't need to buy their own houses. They get given 2 houses fitted with a generator to shield them from load shedding. Ministers don't have to worry about their safety every night like you and I, because they are guarded 24 hours a day by security everywhere they go. This is why this government is out of touch. Abaphathiswa bethu abayazi indlela abantu abaphila ngayo, yiyo loo nto bengakhathali. The greatest irony, Democrats, the ANC has dubbed 2023 as the year of Charlotte Maxeke. Charlotte Maxeke is famously remembered as having said, "This work is not for ourselves. Kill the spirit of self and do not live above your people." This is the antithesis of the party the ANC has become. Even its former president, Thabo Mbeki, penned a scathing letter to the ANC for their shameless, indefensible conduct in Parliament. He boldly calls them the violators of constitutionalism. We can no longer afford to have this party in the union buildings. Mabambe! They have shamelessly stolen money that was meant to provide better healthcare services for people during COVID-19. Billions were stolen during state capture, which still continues under President Ramaphosa today. Billions have been stolen in local municipalities and metros instead of providing basic services. If a party can steal money that is allocated, Democrats, for the funeral of Nelson Mandela, then you know it has lost any moral compass whatsoever. But Democrats, this is why we need a strong DA. This is why we need a united DA. This is why we need a determined DA. This is why we need communities to unite behind the DA. We need a party that will be able to provide a viable alternative to the millions of South Africans who are fast losing faith in the political system and in our democracy. The future of South Africa, Democrats, is intricately linked to the future and the growth yalo mbuto wetu. We are less than a year away from an election that will be remembered for years to come. It can either be the election that hastened the destruction of South Africa or the election that stemmed the free fall. It will be the election that brought to life the promise of 1994. We have a duty to represent the 30 million South Africans who are living in poverty. We have a duty to fight for the 7 out of 10 young people who are without work and who are giving up every day. Sinoxanduva lokulwela abafazi nabantwana ababulawayo bedlwengulwa imihla nezolo. But we can only do so, and we can only bring this difference is we bring about the DA difference in many areas like around the country. But we can only do so, Democrats, if we grow. Now let's go out there, let's do our bit to save South Africa. Viva DA, viva!
We tired of excuses. Ek sê my people need solutions. Kyk, ons moet verandering. Die mense wat kom praat, die kom help met die change. We nie na die vote, my mense jump. Nou hello, how you get the boodskap en ek sing het meneer. Moeg gekyk van hoe die negatieve dinge gebeur. Kom in my plek, ek sal jou wys hoe dinge binne beweeg. En julle first hand experience gee van hoe ons hier leef. Kinders wil kinders wees, maar hulle die je paakie nie. Nou staan hulle op die corner met jongens so boere gangstertjies. Ons kla nou al vir jare oor die saak van ons dreine wat lek. Excuse me, water's a necessity, so help us with that. So many promises were made, but nothing like it received. They said they gonna build houses, haast nog how days a year. Wat staan van 1980 something, I've give hope for my streets. Be the reflection of perfection, don't stick out when it's just election, cause
we're tired of excuses. My people want solutions.
Nou kyk jy ons toe die verandering. Nie mense wat kom praat, die kom help met die change. Wie nie dat die vote, my mense jumpie.
We're tired of excuses. People want solutions.
Nou kyk jy ons toe die verandering. Nie mense wat kom praat, die kom help met die change. Wie nie dat die vote, my mense jump. Education's elevation to better the situation. And educators educate in a state of complication. The teachers on their knees in supplication. Wanna do their occupation with a breeze, maar has to feel ventilation. But ek bedoel die klasse hier se vensters is uit. And we can barely pay our school fees. Nou mens verblaai ook by. En kyk jy so, ek skool met weg, maar hy se geld toe iets hy. So voor hele billboards en bordjies wil zijn, so die pension is uit. Geef vir die sassa regte reis en baby mamas beter always. Sports and the arts need assistance in all ways. Bro, my people needs a difference in more ways than one. So as ons vote me nie net kompromis nie man, sien nie man.
We're tired of excuses. My people want solutions.
Nou kyk jy ons toe die verandering. Nie mense wat kom praat, die kom help met die change. We nie na die vote, my mense jumpie.
We're tired of excuses. People want solutions.
Nou kyk jy ons toe die verandering. Nie mense wat kom praat, die kom help met die change. We nie na die vote, my mense jumpie.
Change, change, change today. No, I won't look the other way. We wanna see a better day for you and me. Change, change, change today. No, I won't look the other way. We wanna see a better day for you and me.
So let's empower the community, create some opportunities. As potholes in die straat, gee dit vir die ouens wat op die stoep sit. And truthfully, we need to lead with love, peace and unity. We tired of attending eulogies. So many aso praat die, doen het hier.
We're tired of excuses. My people want solutions.
Nou kyk jy ons moet die verandering. Nie mense wat kom praat, die kom help met die change. We nie na die vote, my mense jumpie, dankie.
We're tired of excuses. People want solutions.
Nou kyk jy ons moet die verandering. Nie mense wat kom praat, die kom help met die change. We nie na die vote, my mense jumpie.
Indeed, Democrats. Across South Africa, people are tired of excuses. In KwaZulu-Natal, the people of Umgeni voted for change in 2021 when they elected a DA mayor for the first time. Now, please welcome to the stage DA Mayor of Umgeni, Chris Pappas.
Good morning, Democrats. It's an absolute pleasure to be standing here in front of you today at this beautiful Congress. Across South Africa, DA governments are bringing about change and making history. And like many municipalities, our municipality, Umgeni, was limping along with broken systems, plagued by corruption, mismanagement, and maladministration. Our municipality was on the brink of collapse, with corruption, unaccounted for money, and service delivery at an all-time low. The ANC had failed the people of Umgeni. But people were looking for hope. The journey to win Umgeni started 18 years ago under the leadership of Greg Crumbrock. And in 2021, we made history in KwaZulu-Natal when we won the first municipality by just 42 votes. 42 votes. We created history, driven by our motto that we are doing this for sacrifice and not status. We took the reins of power and immediately got to work. We started by conducting a thorough audit of the finances, assets, skills, and capacity of the municipality to deliver. We found millions of rands misspent, severe price gouging, non-existent human resources, policies that didn't exist, and no leadership and direction. It was up to us, the 13-man DA caucus, my team, who I'm very proud of, and the broader DA family in KwaZulu-Natal and leadership, to bring our municipality out of darkness. From day one, we set the marching orders for our institution. We sent a clear message of zero corruption. We put in place stringent measures to ensure value for money spending, and that becomes institutionalized by establishing the Municipal Public Accounts Committee, by recapacitating our audit committee, and ensuring that this became a thing that people knew that we were serious about. Based on DA best practice and drawing from municipalities like Stellenbosch and Drakenstein, Midvaal, and many more, we adopted policies to support our activities. We've been creating a culture of transparency and accountability by doing practical things, such as opening up the tender process to the public and randomizing the temporary selection of employees. South Africans are hungry for a government that can get the basics right. And in the last 15 months, we've achieved some of the following, amongst others. We've spent 24 million rand on specialized equipment like TLBs and tipper trucks, rollers and excavators. We've increased the number of people who have access to free basic services from 133 to over 3,000. We've doubled our roads budget from 11 million to 24 million. We've established a municipal traffic department for the very first time. We've completed 6 million rands worth of projects that were left unfunded and decaying by the ANC. We've installed 400 LED streetlights, installed solar lighting in informal settlements, increased waste collection to rural areas, have load-shedding proof traffic lights, and many, many more. But importantly, the Auditor General gave us a vote of confidence, and we improved our municipal audit outcome from qualified to unqualified. Through hard work and dedication, we are turning the Umgeni local municipality around. 27 years of destruction, policies, and cadre deployment are being painstakingly undone. We are rebuilding our communities. We are determined to show that the DA difference is something real, and that the DA keeps to its promises, and that we get things done. There is hope for our cities, towns, villages, across the whole of South Africa. And in each and every corner of our country, we must continue to build a strong DA that can deliver a better future. Lena le South Africa fanele siqhubeke. Saka i-DA ezokwakha ikusasa engcono. Amakwala ayaqhaqhazela. We are building and we are going to deliver a better future for all. Thank you so much.
The inspiring story of change in Umgeni can be the South African story. And only the DA is within striking distance of achieving this future. To chart our way toward it, please welcome to the stage DA Mpumalanga leader Jane Setole and DA Mayor of Tshwane, Celia Brunk.
Good morning, Congress. So I recently got a job in the capital city, and my team and I will certainly be drawing inspiration from the remarkable turnaround that has been achieved in Umgeni. In municipalities across South Africa, in diverse places over the past quarter century, the DA has got down to business and governed well. It has been a story of delivery to the people for upliftment, benefit and progress for all of the people. And it has been a story of clean, effective, frugal governance. These aren't just our claims, they encompass independent recognition and evaluation time and time again. Because we as a party are dedicated and committed to the South African people. We have built almost 25 years of governance capacity as we prepare for national government. And make no mistakes, we are preparing to govern South Africa. Because we are convinced that that is the hope to build a better future for our country. This is the hope to dismantle the criminal state, to end cadre deployment, to stop corruption, and to get government working again. And election 2024, Democrats, election 2024 can be our tipping point. Democrats, South Africans, the prospects for 2024 are stunning. As we come together today, the governing party of this country has never been as weak as it is now. We need to look no further than the opinion polls published by Rapport and City Press recently, and we can look at independent opinion polls. We can look at the ANC's opinion polls, and they all are telling us the same thing. The governing party is now down to support in the 40s. It has unquestionably lost the support of the majority of South Africans. Now is the best chance ever for change. At support levels in the 40s, the party currently occupying the union buildings is on notice. The people no longer want the ANC in government, and as they fall, we will rise. At our highest support levels ever, only the DA is within striking distance of the ANC. The gap gets down to the single digits. We are within striking distance, and this is what it looks like. A gap between the DA and the ANC, frequently polled under 10%. Under 10%. This race has never been closer. In election 2024, it is the DA and only the DA that can bring the ANC under 50% and form a new government. 'n sterk DA is binne trefafstand van die ANC. En dit is die enigste manier wat ons verandering kan teweegbring. Kom ons doen dit vir ons party, maar kom ons doen dit bovenal vir ons land. Baie dankie.
Indeed, Democrats, indeed. As they fall, we rise. The strong DA is making inroads and progress across South Africa, closing the gap year after year, election after election, and by-election after by-election. For this reason, we say confidently, only the DA can do it. You see it play out in more and more by-elections. And you saw it play out when the DA made gains and got more votes than we've ever had in elections 2021. Amandla! You see it play out as our support swells and grows in all communities and in the polls. When the Social Research Foundation measured party support in the last few months, they found that for the first time, the DA has now overtaken the ANC to become the biggest and most supported party in urban areas. And this trend, Democrats, it continues outside of the bigger cities around the country, shown by the last few months by-elections. Let me share with you what I mean as we grow outside cities too. In the rural Western Cape municipality of Prince Albert, of a base of 30% in 2021, the DA grew by 66.8% in a by-election. A surge in this rural community, the DA support is growing. And in Karibek, in the Northern Cape, a town in Carnarvon, a stunning outcome for the DA, as our support there grew in the last by-election by 219%. The DA won the ward from the ANC. We now have our first council in the southern Karoo. And like Karibek, the DA's momentum across the country grows. By-elections in Matsigama, Enoch Mukjikima, Ditsobota, and Etequini all tell the same story, Democrats. More than double-digit growth for the DA. In my home province of Mpumalanga, I am so proud of the by-election that we had in Governor Mbeki. We grew by almost 10%. The DA support at the last by-elections, in just 2.5 years, the DA has won 5 wards from other parties, and 2 of those were from the ANC. The DA is growing. Even in the wards that we don't win of the ANC or other parties, we grow, and we grow in a diverse array of communities. A few months ago, a by-election took place in a ward in Nyanga in Cape Town. This has been an ANC stronghold, but in that by-election, our growth was recorded over 370%, Democrats. For the DA to grow our support 370% in a Nyanga ward tells you that the sands are shifting. Our momentum into election 2024 couldn't be stronger. We are within striking distance and the sands are shifting, Democrats. Viva DA, viva! Viva DA, viva! Thank you, Celia.
It is clear that only the DA is within striking distance of unseating the ANC in 2024. South Africa will be a much better place under the Democratic Alliance. To lay out the DA's plan, please welcome to the stage DA Gauteng leader Solly Msamanga and DA Eastern Cape chairperson Yusuf Kassim.
Democrats, what a pleasure and an honor to have you here in Gauteng. This province is the next battleground for our strong DA. As we edge closer and closer to the ultimate goal, we must answer the question of what South Africa will look like under a DA government. And as the leader of this province, I'm occupied with a question on each and every day that I wake up. I must answer the question, what this province will look like under the DA government. We already know for a fact that the DA is within a striking distance of unseating the ANC nationally, provincially in Gauteng, and in so many other provinces. And I want to say to you, we already know that the DA support is at an all-time high all over the country. This is important because it proves the critics wrong. And it recognizes the brave South Africans making better political choices every day. So many critics stand on the sidelines and can't see a South Africa post the ANC. But the DA supporters are proving them wrong on a daily basis. We honor these South Africans and we thank each of you for your support. We are what we are because of you. And we are preparing to deliver a better future for you with your support. Now, let's talk about the future. I want to ask you to envision a better South Africa where government truly works. Let us dare to dream. Let us be bold. And let us be sure of ourselves. It is not selfish or arrogant or self-indulgent of you to want a government that works in a better future. Make no apology and have no regret for wanting more from a government of your country. Dare to dream. And I want to work with the DA, a party that can and will deliver for you. Under the Democratic Alliance national government, you will have far better opportunities to get a job or start a business to provide for your family. Under the Democratic Alliance national government, you will determine your own success, enabled by a caring government. And opportunities will be fair. There will be no insiders, no jobs if you are card-carrying members, no outsiders, no quotas, no racial discrimination, no gatekeeping, no brook pants if our mama be to get into positions. Under the Democratic Alliance, we want to make sure that government, you can be sure that electricity will indeed flow, and that the DA national government will eliminate load shedding once and for all. We will not just build in ministers because we want to then add on to the cabinet. I want you to imagine when agriculture is supported and helped rather than restricted, limited, and neglected. And I want to say our public transport system would be safe, reliable, and affordable, as a world-class buses and trains available will make sure that you're able to get to work and back home safely on a daily basis. Let's get our trains working again and expand the rail network. Let's get comfortable long-distance trains that will be safe and affordable. Let's forget about the Pala dream train that we were told 5 years ago, and not a single rail has been put on. And I want us to live in a safer community. Now, our premier here is telling us of face detecting cameras and this and that, and they want to put that in informal settlement. The question is, how? With what electricity are you going to do that? We want to make sure that we deliver a well-functioning provincial police service that is capable of ensuring that you and me are safe in our provinces. And we want to make sure that we have high-capacity metro police services in each and every metro. Professional, hardworking, and well-maintained police to make sure that you and me are safe on a daily basis. And I want you to imagine that at the same time, a South Africa where Home Affairs works, and your ID or passport or birth certificates arrive at your doorstep just after applying online a couple of days before. This is a South Africa that you deserve. Together, you and the Democratic Alliance can achieve great things for our beloved country. I want to say to you, touch, let's go. Welcome to this Congress. Viva TA, viva!
My fellow Democrats, as the provincial chairperson of the Democratic Alliance in the Eastern Cape Province, I can tell you with experience and with excruciating detail what a failed state looks like and the impact this has on the people in our province. Governance in my province has collapsed, with administration corrupted and completely hollowed out. But as my colleagues have so compellingly presented today, the most realistic chance that South Africa has to change course from a failed state to a better future is by placing your faith in the party that is gathered in this room today. No other party comes close. We are bigger than the next 6 parties combined. I want to expand on the picture that Solly has painted of a South Africa that works under the DA. You best believe that we are determined to create a South Africa where prosperity and happiness are not just possible, but attainable for all. Where violence and suffering are not our inevitable fate, but where we all live peaceful lives made possible by government funds actually training and managing our law enforcement properly. A future where the vulnerable are not neglected or exploited, but supported by a safety net that helps them improve their lives. A future where my daughters, Rukaya, Zainab, Sarah, and Hannah, can be themselves, develop themselves, and pursue their dreams. My fellow Democrats, envision with me this better future for South Africa. Because under a DA national government, our children would have access to safe schools. Imagine a teacher in every classroom, trained, equipped, valued, but also measured and tested and held accountable. Imagine no more broken classrooms, no more pit toilets. Under a DA national government, public hospitals and clinics will be safe and caring. No more broken hospitals, medicine stockouts, or broken equipment. Under a DA national government, you know that the cancer of corruption will be cut out. Corruption is stopped and eliminated everywhere that the DA comes into government. Now imagine what we can do as a national government. We must move forward until there is no misuse of public funds or ministers in mansions with luxury cars. Together we will stop these rock star ministers, as Leon Schreiber describes them, and we will make ministers the servants of the people and not royalty. It would mean an end to the abuse of power, a permanent end to state capture, and the end of the mafia state. And you would see, my fellow Democrats, you would see that without delay, a DA national government would open the economy and let businesses thrive. And so investment would return, money will flow back into South Africa, our tax yields will increase, and treasury will be healthy again. Because to rebuild what has been broken, to repair the ANC's mess, it will take a DA government, and it's going to cost us money. But as the economy grows, as jobs are created, so the quality of lives of our people will improve. My fellow Democrats, if you want to know the true nature and intention of a political party in government, you need only look at the fights that they take up as an opposition. As we, the DA, fight for lower food prices, to slash fuel costs, end in load shedding, fighting against government trying to take control of our school governing bodies, fighting for a better police minister, we can do much, much better, fighting to end cadre deployment, and so you see, this is exactly how we will govern South Africa. Now, we need each and every one of you across our beautiful country to join us in this fight. If we stand together and fight for this future, we can make it a reality together. Saamstaan, dear, saamstaan. Ta, ta, DA, ta, ta. Forward, DA, forward.
The Democratic Alliance works tirelessly to ensure that South Africa's best days are ahead of us. And we believe that our moment for change is coming. Fellow South Africans, we want to invite you to join us in our mission to protect freedom, to overcome poverty, and build a safe South Africa for all. Join the team that is building a better future. We invite you to apply to stand for election as a DA Member of Parliament or a member of your provincial legislature in election 2024. If you have what it takes to serve South Africa at the highest level of government with passion, integrity, and an undying commitment, apply. If you have a special public service skill, legislative competence, and unique governance knowledge, and you align yourself with the DA's values, principles, and policies, apply. Fill in your application at apply.voteda.org. That is apply.voteda.org. Applications open on the 11th of April. We are the only political party that seeks out the best of the best to serve South Africans in Parliament and in our legislatures.
Welcome back to the stage your Masters of Ceremony, Liam Jacobs and Karabo Chachal.
Oza 2024, Oza! I don't think you guys are excited enough. Let's try that again. Oza 2024, Oza! Aye, your Democratic Alliance,
Aye. Karabo, I've got to say this. The electricity in this room is enough, and it has the ability to light up the entire country.
The entire country.
You got that right. This electricity comes from our 9 provincial structures.
Yeah.
So as we march into election 2024, I think it's high time that we acknowledge these provincial structures.
Yeah.
So, Karabo, what do you have to say about that?
I think, look, the 9 centers of excellence that we have and their delegations are all here today, each holding the bragging rights of their part that they built towards building a strong DA. And so provinces, I want to hear, are you ready to represent? I want to hear better, are you here to represent? So I bet each and every province has their own chimuranga, their own song to brag about their own provinces. I get it, we're going to be good for that. Good stuff.
Our first province showcases rugged wild coast beaches and unspoiled natural beauty. Under tough drought conditions, our governments here are doing everything they can to defeat Day Zero, otherwise known as the home of legends. Abantu basempuma koloni, ePondweni. Let's hear it for our delegates from the Eastern Cape.
Alala, Eastern Cape, alala. And blessed with the Gerrief Dam, Clarence and sprawling farmlands, our next province is home to our nation's judicial capital, and we stop at nothing to follow the rule of law there. So let's hear it to my home province, the Fatela Bokgone le Batata Molo, alala, Freistata, alala. Oy, Freistat, hot Freistat.
Our next province might be small in size, it might be very small in size, but it's home to a quarter of our nation's population, 15.8 million people. It is the place of gold, and in this next election, it is up for grabs and ours for the taking. Let's hear it for our delegates from Gauteng.
Hello, Gauteng. Democrats, our next province is home to more than 11 million people. From the Indian Ocean to the Drakensberg Mountains, it boasts the beautiful kingdom of KwaZulu-Natal. That's more like it. Halala, KZN, halala.
Halala. Our northernmost province is certainly something to behold. From baobabs and untouched bushveld to rich farmland and beautiful people. Let's hear it for our delegates from Limpopo.
Halala, Limpopo, halala.
Halala.
And now, Democrats, to see the sun rise over the Blythe River Canaan or through tall grass in the Kruger National Park is something very special. So, Pumalaga Relochani, Pumalaga Lachani. Yeah, you're here. Hala, la Pumalaga, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have South Africa's largest province, famous for spring flowers, hartsmense, and diamonds. It is a force to be reckoned with. die provinsie is mooi, die mense is mooi, die alles is mooi, man die mooi is so volop soos wintersnot. Let's hear it for our delegates from the Northern Cape.
Oi, oi, Northern Cape, oi, oi. Thank you, Northern Cape. With untouchable and beautiful farmlands, our platinum province is full of potential. Reality Alona Democrats, let's give it for the Northwest!
Aye, Northwest, aye. And last, but certainly not least, I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, there's only one.
I wonder who it could be.
There's only one.
This province is home to the mother city. It is a beacon of excellence. It is a standard bearer for good governance. She's the DA's first provincial governor, and incidentally, the best in South Africa. Viskap Yolekadang. Give it up for the Western Cape. Viskap,
what an absolutely exhilarating atmosphere. I am happy and proud to be a member of this party and to be in this room here today. So thank you, all of you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that we all please rise as we sing our national anthem.
The story of DA governance goes back almost 25 years. The first DA government was right here in Gauteng. And with an outright DA majority, it showed South Africa what a true blue government can do. Please welcome to the stage Mayor of Midvaal, Peter Texera.
Phambili, DA, Phambili. Woza 2024, woza. Democrats, dumelang, sanbonani. Goeiemôre, good morning. I am grateful and deeply honored to be standing here on the party's biggest stage and elective Congress. Ke a leboha for menyetla o e ke fuweng wona. As mayor of the longest standing DA majority government, I stand here today and proudly say, look how far we have come. I am proud to look into the beautiful sea of blue colors, to see diverse South Africans from every province at our biggest federal Congress ever. For over 22 years now, the DA has governed in Midvaal with an outright majority, which means no coalitions, no compromises, just true blue DA governance. This means that our excellent service delivery policies and our fundamental values are implemented in Midvaal without exception. You've heard Umfowethu Chris Papas tell the story of taking over Umgeni from the rotten ANC. And you've heard Celia and Jane tell us how close we are to getting the ANC out of government nationally. Now let me tell you the story of a true blue DA government and what life can be like when voters give the DA a chance to govern. The difference is so apparent and visible, and when you're in Midvaal, you do not need to drive very far to see it. Gibua ka phapang e bonahalang. Grant me this opportunity to tell you a tale of two cities. A story of a DA-governed Midvaal and an ANC-led Emfuleni municipality. This year, Midvaal received its 9th consecutive clean audit. And the ANC-led Emfuleni municipality received a qualified audit. Ratings Africa recently announced Midvaal as the most financially sustainable municipality in the country. Whilst Midvaal local municipality pays its creditors and specifically Eskom and Rand Water on time and without fail, Emfuleni owes Eskom over 5.3 billion rand and Rand Water over 1.4 billion rand. The embattled and strained and cash-strapped Emfuleni local municipality struggles to pay salaries of its own employees. While the DA-led government in Midvaal was procuring a new fleet of 14 brand new vehicles to improve service delivery, Emfuleni's municipal vehicles were being seized to help pay Eskom's debt. In the DA government, governed Midvaal, we are getting the basics right. We are getting things done. When our residents open their taps, whether in the town or township, clean water comes out. When our Midvaal residents flush their toilets, the waste flows through a functioning sewer system and not through their kitchen sink or the streets. Midvaal residents drive on smooth surfaced roads and potholes are quickly attended to. Refuse removal occurs across all wards without fail. Come Christmas or New Year's, we will collect your waste. Municipal parks and public spaces are clean and well maintained for our community to use. And the very best thermal heat drone and camera technologies have now been added in Midvaal as part of our community safety plan, which has significantly cut down on crime, especially stock theft out in our farming communities. This is a true committed blue DA government. We have invested a significant amount into the bulk infrastructure development to meet the needs of our community and the growth of Midvaal. This investment will unlock Midvaal's economy potential by attracting investments and creating jobs for all of our people. This will significantly mitigate our current unemployment rate, which is currently standing at 17.8%, which is amongst the lowest in the country. Democrats, the fact of the matter is that 2 children born on the same day in April 1993, one in Midvaal and another in an ANC-led Emfuleni, have very different ideas of what a democratic government can do for its people. For the one born in Emfuleni, democracy means a few politically connected enriching themselves and no service delivery. For another born in Midvaal, democracy means development, opportunities, and freedom. It means daring to dream in the knowledge that regardless of the color of their skin or who their parents are, they have a fair chance of becoming whatever they want to become. Democrats, I am a proud husband and father of 3 children who represent the potential of South Africa's future. It hurts me deeply that nearly 30 years after we gained our freedom, there are still children who cannot access education, opportunities, or even be safe in their communities. I want my children and your children to thrive, succeed, and get opportunities every parent wants for their children. I want all South Africans to experience the DA difference that so many of our residents in Midvaal experience on a daily basis. Democrats, a true blue DA government that gets down to work. A government that budgets for progress and delivery. A government that is transparent and accountable. The successes we see in Midvaal are greatly attributed to a strong DA majority. We care, we function at full steam, and we deliver. I can say to you and to all South Africans that if we want a better future nationally, we must vote for the DA's Kipela Masela Lawa Malietu. Let the winds of change blow. Let election 2024 harness these winds. Let's get things done and let the future be true blue. Pambili DA, Pambili! Kula DA, Kula! Woza 2024, Woza! Nginibonga nonke.
We are a party of diversity. We are the most diverse political party in South Africa. We are all creeds, all cultures, all races. Young and old, we stand side by side. Please welcome to the stage the leader of the DA Youth, Nicholas Nyati.
Democrats, delegates at Federal Congress, and all South Africans watching us on television today. I'm going to make an unequivocal statement that this whole crowd will recognize immediately. In 2024, we are in it to win it. I want us to all say it. In 2024, we are in it to win it. Old, young, urban, rural, big town, small town. The DA is in it to win it in your community and South Africa as a whole. But that can only be achieved, Democrats, if we understand that we do not have time. The clock is ticking for South Africa. Why does our country suffer the highest national youth unemployment rate? Why do 43.4% of our youth have no hope of a job? Why must South Africans of all communities accept the fact that South Africa experiences 80 murders and 135 rapes each and every single day? Why should we accept the mafia state which the ANC is building? This Congress, this one, is our line in the sand moment. Here today, the Democratic Alliance is drawing a line in the sand on the failures of the ANC that can no longer define our future. We are drawing a line in the sand on a national government that has been defined by looters, thieves, and crooks, and that must be a thing of the past. Let us all draw the line in the sand and commit to what comes next, because the future is very bright under the Democratic Alliance. This Congress will shape what South Africa will look like under a DA-led national government. This Congress will give the new leadership a mandate on what type of South Africa we want to see. Our Congress slogan is very simple: a strong DA to build a better future. This means that we pledge to you, South Africans, that a strong DA can create opportunities. A strong DA can create more jobs, and a strong DA will create growth for this beautiful country. We pledge to you that we are in it to win it, because a strong DA can make South Africa safer, where my mother, my little brother, my little sister, my grandfather can walk freely on the streets without a fear of getting mugged, raped, or killed. Only a strong DA can build a quality education system for all, like you already see in the Western Cape, where the DA is governing outright, like you already see in the city of Cape Town, where the DA is getting things done. In the DA, we do not care whether the cat is white or the cat is black, as long as it catches the mice. Democrats, that is the freedom, that is the fairness, and that is the non-racialism of the Democratic Alliance. To achieve this, we must remind ourselves of who we are. Ningo Bani. We must remind ourselves, what do we stand for? We must go back to our roots and let us embrace the wonderful, positive, and hopeful pathway that we thought we were going to have post-1994. The coat of arms in the national government gives us a direction. It says, "Ke ikara ke," diverse people unite. This represents each individual effort to harness the unity between thought and action. But the irony, Democrats, is that this national government would rather divide us than unite us. But I want to say with absolute confidence, absolute assurance, that while they try to divide us, we will continue to unite. Hey, Ikara, hey. Delegates, when you entered those gates, you signed your registration slip. But it was more than just registration. What you are signing was our intent. What we are signing is that of a national intent that will implement post-2024 when the DA enters the union buildings. Our intent has never been stronger, and we will not rest until those union buildings are blue. We won't rest until freedom, until fairness, until opportunity comes to all South Africans. We cannot rest, not even for one day. Young South Africans, young lions, we want to hear your roar. I'm speaking to young people at this Congress, but most importantly, I'm speaking to young people at home, that this election, we need to hear your voices. We must hear your voices. We must hear your roar in the ballot boxes. This country needs you to rise to the occasion and stand behind the only pathway to oust this failing national government, these crooks that are defined as the African national criminals. It is your future, young people, and it is time that you take control. And to the older generation, the country needs you once more. Once you oversaw the transition to freedom, now again you are called on to vote for a new freedom. Because we, the DA, is in it to win it. And every South African from any village, any urban area is invited to join and win with us. The numbers show that only the DA can. It is time for you to take up your power. It's time for a better future. Join us, South Africa. Let us all win together. Join us, South Africa, and we do not have time. Sakusele kancane. Sakusele kancane. Sakusele kancane.
sekuselegana kanale sizophumelela. Let's go 2024 sekuselegana kanale sizophumelela. Let's go 2024 sekuselegana. Don't be scared. Awesome. 2020. Kanane 2024, let's go 2024. Ay, mananginizwa. Wasa 2024. Ay, sekuselegana. Ay, sekuselegana. Tango bafethu siyabonga. Viva tie, viva!
Viva!
The solution for you and me. Hear my song of love. Hear my song of love. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah.
is the 2023 Federal Congress of the Democratic Alliance. Only a strong DA can uphold the values of freedom, fairness, opportunity, and diversity. A strong DA to build a better future. Welcome to the Democratic Alliance's Federal Congress.
Well, there you have it, South Africa. The DA's Congress 2023 has officially kicked off with the opening ceremony. And what an opening ceremony it was. It perfectly illustrated our theme, a strong DA to build a better future. For those of you that have just joined us, my name is Regan Allen, and with me in studio is my lovely co-host, Leslie Sharif. What was your favorite part of the ceremony?
Regan, my favorite part, I love music. So it was jollying and dancing, getting down to the amazing musicians. What an opening ceremony. I couldn't agree more, Regan. And the speeches, so inspiring to see how the DA gets things done. For those of you at home, share your thoughts with us. Make sure to use the hashtag DA Congress 2023 when you comment and share this broadcast.
We are now welcomed in studio by Greg Krambok, who is the presiding officer at Congress 2023, and our two deputy presiding officers, Bridget Masango, as well as Dr. Mimi Gondwe. If I can jump in straight away, Dr. Ivan Meyer served notice on the ANC. The Congress is opened. Bridget, your reaction?
This has to be the most awesome and the most extraordinary Congress as the Democratic Alliance that we've had, and I believe that it is superseded and it's over expected the spirit, the excitement. It is unbelievable. It's extraordinary. I have never experienced anything like this, but to be part of it, it makes it even more, that much of an emotional even experience. I can show South Africans that what we are doing this weekend is going to make South Africa never to be the same again. Thanks.
Greg, in reaction?
Well, yeah, I mean, the opening ceremony just blew my mind away. It started when the provincial delegations started to arrive in their teams, walking up the ramp, and Northern Cape and Western Cape singing, and just the exuberance and anticipation of the delegates is something I haven't seen for at least 30 years. And the in memoriam and the way that people respectfully paid tribute to the fallen heroes and heroines of our party, the vibe with the provincial inserts into the program, and the sense of camaraderie and unity is quite magnificent at this Congress. I think it's going to be pretty unforgettable, that opening ceremony.
Yes!
Absolutely.
And Nancy, like you, I love the music. So seeing Kat Darren, Lloyd Kele, Vicky Sampson, oh my word, I had goosebumps. Yeah. It was such an amazing opening ceremony. It invokes so much emotions in me, emotions. I was proud to be South African, really feeling hopeful about the country. We're experiencing so many challenges right now, but it gave me so much hope, and I just felt part of a family, proud to be part of the DA, and like my presiding officers have said, this is a weekend that I think we'll all will never forget, and South Africa will never forget. It was just out of this world.
It's just putting it into perspective that it's only a moment. What we are doing here is exactly what we have been working on for a number of years, and the finishing line is almost there. The presiding officer, Greg, always says our best days are ahead of us. And I think the electrifying moment, emotions that you get in here, and how everyone is so excited to be together, I think it's showing us that it's only just small. We are almost there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to even many more other aspects of this Congress.
Before you jump back in, the in memoriam.
Yes.
I think it was so fitting, knowing that many of us have worked with so many of those that have sadly passed on, and we are able to ultimately build on the foundations that they have also laid during this particular time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very important that we pay our tribute and our respects. But let's get into it, into the nitty-gritty, Mambi.
Yes.
Some viewers at home want to know, what is the role of the presiding officer at this Congress?
Well, the role of the presiding officer, we are, believe it or not, responsible for the integrity of the entire electoral process from the day that the first circular went out to declare the Congress. We then assumed that responsibility, that people must know how things work. We were given a responsibility to make sure that at the end of the day, this Congress is free, it's fair, and it has integrity, and that each and every one of the delegates know that there are presiding officers that are looking after their interests, that whatever concern they have, they can bring them to the to the presiding officers. We today, for example, we were responsible to ensure that the Congress is correct, that people know that as they are sitting here, we have ticked all the boxes, we have dotted all the I's, and we've crossed all the T's. And that is, for me, what is true to the DA tradition and true to the DA culture, that we do things according to what needs to be done. And I'm very excited for being the presiding officer for the 2023 Congress.
Yes.
What can we expect in Congress?
Well, Regan, we're going to have constitutional amendments coming up next, where we bring our constitution up to date. There will be an explanation from the presiding officers as to how our voting system is going to work. After that, a very exciting segment. We're going to have the two federal leader candidates coming up onto stage. I have a very secret coin in my pocket. There's going to be a coin toss, and they're going to call, and that will determine who gets to speak first and second. And each one of the two federal leader candidates will in fact then have 5 minutes to address the entire Congress. And I think all the delegates are really looking forward to that. And that, I think, will be the highlights of the afternoon. We will then carry on with the constitutional amendments after that.
Greg, so exciting. You're going to show us the coin, or must we wait till later?
Well, you know, I think for 2,000 people in the room, sitting right at the back, it might be difficult to see the coin, but maybe we can show it on national television right now. And that is the leadership. There we are. The leadership toss coin for everybody to see. Okay, that will determine who speaks first and who speaks second. We'll frame it afterwards and commemorate it, Naz.
Yes, please. Yes, please. With your signature at the bottom of it, of course.
Okay.
Greg, speaking about the leadership vote, how secure is the system, and how confident are you that the vote will be both fair and accurate?
Well, I'm sure the vote's going to be fair, because we've ensured a fair process, as Bridget was explaining, right from the beginning, even having oversight through our compliance systems on branch elections and council elections to make sure delegates are properly elected according to a process. But it goes to things like spinning a wheel to see what questions the candidates will get in the debate, which they had on Monday. Making sure that the questions are alternated so not everybody has the chance to go first. They alternate going first and second, and we did that on all our leadership debates. It means even drawing lots to see where candidates can put their tables, as we have in the plenary hall, outside and even outside. So I think fairness is built into our system. In terms of the secrecy of the ballot, we've used OpenVote for 3 years. We've used it at federal, we've used it at provincial congresses, we've used it in caucus elections. And so it's a tried and tested system used throughout the world, and we have so much help available to Congress, 100 extra laptops, 30 staff members. If anyone has any doubt how to vote, they can come here between 6 and 9 tomorrow. We'll assist them, and I'm expecting every single delegate who's registered for Congress to be able to cast their vote in fairness and in secrecy.
Yeah, so
Greg, many people are asking how long will delegates have in order to vote for the new leadership?
Well, they're going to have 3 hours, Regan, and they'll get their open vote link and their code at 6 a.m. They will have 3 hours then to cast their vote. It is within the presiding officer's discretion if we should extend voting. In 2020, we had a very difficult challenge with decentralized voting throughout the entire country because of COVID, and we did extend voting by half an hour for that. But Bridget and Mimi and I are absolutely determined there will be no delegate that wants to cast a vote that does not get to actually cast their vote. They will cast their vote if they do want to do so. We will be making sure that we are there to assist them to do that. But at this stage, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and maybe every single person will cast their vote by then. That's my hope.
Mambi, Congress is on a bit of a comfort break, but when we come back, we should be going into constitutional amendments.
Yes.
Can you just explain what that is and how it works for those that may not know?
Well, the Constitution of the Democratic Alliance, like all credible constitutions, is a living document. Now and again, there will be amendments that will be made, and that is open to each and every structure of the Democratic Alliance. We send out a circular to say the constitutional amendments now it's open for people to bring their amendments on board, and that process has milestones that it is now closed. We've now, we are working with, there's a committee called the Constitutional Amendments Review Committee that works on the received amendments to see if they are in line with the constitution of and the principles of the Democratic Alliance. Once that process is closed, we had a webinar where they were debated on the floor of, let me say, the Constitution, the Congress, but on an online system, just because we received so many.
Yeah.
And the DA, not one amendment is cast out. Every amendment is reviewed, every amendment is presented. People that have submitted their amendments are contacted to say, we believe that this is what you wanted to say or whatever, and that is done live. People are part of the process of amending the Constitution. So today we are voting, where if you agree with the amendment, the rest of the delegates will say, I agree with that amendment, I don't agree with that amendment. And that process is as open, as free, as transparent as that. And that is the DA for you. We are the DA of
that
principles.
is a sign of healthy democracy,
Yes.
internal.
In action.
And as I was listening, we are potentially voting for the next president
Yes,
of our
we are.
country.
Yes.
And I think many of our viewers are also asking what is the resolution and what are some of those resolutions that will be voted on.
Thank you very much for that question, Regan. I like how CISB has alluded to the fact that with constitutional amendments, they speak to amending our federal constitution. Whereas when you look at resolutions, they're about policy. So it gives delegates a chance to actually consider and vote on, our policy agenda and the types of policies we want to formulate and articulate. And we don't always start from scratch, so some of the resolutions actually add on and build on to existing policies. So, for example, we have resolutions that seek to reconfirm our economic justice policies. And then we also have a resolution that seeks to reinforce the independence of the Reserve Bank, and some speak to land rights, land ownership and that type of thing. And then we look at the threshold. When you look at the threshold for constitutional amendments, it is actually 2/3 of delegates present and voting. And then when you look at the ones for the resolution, it's 50% of delegates present and voting. So there's a difference in terms of the threshold and the requirements for passing, constitutional amendments as well as resolutions. But it's an exciting time, and like he said, we've got strong internal democracy processes, and we are seeing them come to play in this Congress, where people, 45% of our delegates are non-public reps, so they're not MPs, they're not MPLs, they're not councillors. So we have our members, branch members, and our activists actually taking decisions, crucial decisions about the party and our policy direction as well.
Yeah, so exciting, a lot happening. Thank you very much for all your inputs. Presiding officers, you have a mammoth of a task and we wish you luck. Thank you for helping our viewers at home understand why this process is so important. We are now going to cross over to the floor of Congress, where Kwena, our main man, has caught up with the DA's newest executive mayor in the city of Tshwane, Celia Brink.
Thank you, Naz and Regan. I'm here on the Congress floor, and I must tell you, it has been a buzz since the opening ceremony. Hearing 2,000 delegates singing the national anthem was absolutely magical. But I have a special guest here, the man of the hour, the newly elected executive mayor of the city of Tshwane, Celia Brink. Celia, before we jump into it, how does it feel to be here today?
Feels wonderful. I can feel the energy. The message is clear that we need a stronger DA in order to save this country. It's only the DA that can make the difference. And as the second biggest party in this country, we have men and women from across the country, and it's amazing, and it's great to see so many familiar faces, and indeed it is pumping.
Wow. Now, Celia, you were recently elected as the executive mayor of our capital city. How has it been so far?
It's been very difficult in terms of we have to meet with all of the officials, we have to get on top of the issues. We've got a massive challenge in Tshwane, as you know, Kwena, in terms of getting control of the finances, restoring some of the controls that have broken down, making a success of an extremely difficult coalition. So I won't lie, it's going to be a tough job, but I am really amped, and it's a massive privilege to be leading the capital city and to be able to keep our promise to the voters to build a capital city that works, and one that works for all of the people.
Now, tell me, Celia, what does your election mean for the residents of Tshwane?
It means that we are going to be honest with the people about what is wrong in Tshwane. If we discover something that's not right, we will declare it, we will disclose it to the public, we'll tell them exactly what we're going to do about it. We also have to obviously work really hard to hold the coalition together. Now, coalitions are difficult. You've got several different parties there, but I feel that we have a unity of purpose in the Tshwane coalition. We have to make it work, because if we don't get a few important things right, Kwena, we will not be able to sustain excellent service delivery, and we won't be able to keep that promise. So hard work, blood, sweat, tears and toil, but we will not abandon the people of Tshwane. We'll keep on fighting to keep that promise of ours.
Wow. So there are 2,000 delegates here today at Congress. What is the impact of this event on the municipalities where we govern?
So the DA will be discussing important policy issues, and what we decide here is going to feed into the future of many of the governments that run this country. We have to build an alternative platform. We have to be different to the ANC. If we're not different, we're not useful. And so the debates that are going on here, the policy that will be developed, will be crucial on delivering the change needed by South Africa.
Thanks. Now, lastly, the DA has been at the forefront of the fight for mother tongue education. What can you tell us about what's been going on?
So, as ek mag, Kwena, sal ek my moedertaal wil praat om te sê dat dit 'n baie belangrike geveg is vir die DA om te wen. En natuurlik is ons skademinister oor openbare administrasie, Leon Schreiber, die kampioen, en onlangs het ons 'n MRK saak gewen by Stellenbosch, waar ons opgestaan het teen die beleid van slegs Engels. En dit was 'n baie belangrike oorwinning vir ons, en nou moet daar 'n verandering kom in die bestuur van Stellenbosch Universiteit.
Now, Celia, we know the issues that have existed in Tshwane as a result of the DA not having an outright majority. What would your message be to the residents of South Africa in the run-up to the 2024 elections?
So in Tshwane, we've got the ingredients to make a success of a coalition. The most important, we have a majority in council, and we now have a unity of purpose. So if there is one coalition that will work, it's the one in the capital city. And Kwena, we've got a special responsibility to make a success of that coalition, to show people that we voted for change and we can actually deliver change. So the circumstances are difficult, as you know, Kwena, in Tshwane. We've had a negative audit outcome. We're still dealing with a legacy of unlawful administration in the city. Quite frankly, there are many deployed cadres still in that city who are not on board with our program of change. But we are determined, we will not abandon the people of Tshwane. And in fact, if we can make the capital city work, we can make South Africa work.
Now, you're 100% correct. We need to get the capital city up and running. In your first 100 days in office, what are some of the challenges that you wanna take on?
So we got to be clear with the people of Tshwane what is going on in the finances. Anything that has not been disclosed yet must be disclosed, because trust is the basis on which we will proceed. Then we have to pass an adjustments budget and devise a financial recovery plan so that we can get value for the money that people pay in rates, tariffs and charges. Only if we can do that, and it's going to be a critical 2 months, only if we can do that can we deliver on our original promise of progressively improving service delivery and building a capital city that we can all be proud of.
Now, we all know nationally, load shedding is a massive issue that the DA has been at the forefront of fighting. Are there any plans inside the city of Tshwane to essentially ensure that we're less reliant on Eskom to grow the economy?
It is absolutely essential, not just for the capital city, but all municipalities in this country, to do what has been done in Cape Town and when our coalition was in charge in Ekurhuleni, and devise alternative sources of energy generation. The city of Tshwane has got two, as you know, Kwena, two coal-fired power plants that we have to use. We have to partner with the private sector and see how we can generate our own electricity or facilitate the generation of alternative electricity. If we can get that right, we might even be able to skip 1 or 2 stages of load shedding, as is the case currently in Cape Town. But that is definitely part of our agenda.
Okay, now thank you. I suspect a lot of the viewers at home want to get to know our new Burgemeester better. Can you tell us a little bit about your political journey and how you ended up in the top job in the city of Tshwane?
So like you, Kwena, I studied at the University of Pretoria. I started the DA Students Organization there, became involved in politics. In 2011, I became a councillor. In 2016, Salim Samanga appointed me as a member of his mayoral committee. 2019, I was elected to Parliament, where I served on the COGTA Portfolio Committee, which deals with local government. And now I am here. So I am young in years, but I've got some political experience, and the most of that has been in local government. And I really hope that I can use that, contribute towards a team, and achieve the turnaround in Tshwane that we've been able to do in many other places.
Thank you, Celia. I'm going to let you go and take selfies with all of the delegates here that are so excited to see you taking up the top job in the city of Tshwane. Bye, Amoy. Nasli Regan, back to you in the studio.
Bye, Duncan.
Thank you, Kwena, Celia. We are super proud of the work you are doing. Keep it up. For those of you just joining us, you are watching the DA Federal Congress 2023 live from Jozi. Our theme is a strong DA to build a better future. You can join the conversation on social media by using the hashtag DA Congress 2023.
We are now joined by our two lovely Congress MCs, Liam Jacobs, the leader of the DA Student Organization, and Karabo Gagau, the youngest DA Member of Parliament.
Hoi hoi!
Hoi hoi!
I feel it, my bro.
Yeah.
Brought the energy.
It's here.
It's right here.
It's not an ESCOM, it's here.
It's right here. Karabo and Liam, welcome to the studio. First, tell us how amazing it was that you guys opened the Congress opening ceremony, and what did it feel like to be in front of over 2,000 delegates?
I mean, Leon, you want to take first?
Well, I'll take this. You know what? It was insane.
the feeling. It filled me with so much excitement, so much electricity. It had me wanting to say dilly ding, dilly dong 29 different times. Like, I couldn't even count it. It feels electric. The atmosphere is what it's supposed to be. It feels good. It feels the greatest. And just to be on the precipice of history, as we are right now, that's that electricity. That's where that's coming from. So it feels amazing. I'm excited, bursting out of these really tight seams, and it feels amazing. I'm having fun. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, look, Liam is absolutely right. We keep pinching ourselves back in studio and back of stage every time because the energy is so amazing and it is so beautiful to see the diversity of our party united, all excited, rising to songs and chanting all together. And the fact that the fact that this Congress is our largest ever Congress in the history of the Democratic Alliance is something that we are absolutely proud of, and it's something that's very exciting. Yeah.
Liam, earlier on, Carly was mentioning the importance of young people and young people participating in the electoral systems and what is happening next year. Your thoughts on young people actively participating?
You know what? There's this meme, Regan. There's this meme. It's a crazy meme, and I don't know where it comes from. I really don't know where it comes from. But it's this thing that we say you have to hide your grandmother's ID when we go vote next year. You know what? That shouldn't be the case. Because young people make up a tremendous amount, such a huge amount of South Africa's population. And you know what that means? That means that young people have the ability to change the trajectory of South Africa. So it's imperative. We must do it. You must feel this excitement that I'm feeling to vote. I want to jump when I go vote. I want to go make my X and make my mark. And each and every young South African should feel that way because it is young people who can change South Africa for the better.
Yeah, 100%.
I cannot agree more with Liam. Liam, you're so right. And that's why we need to make sure young people like myself and you get everybody registered. Not only young people, but make sure your mama, your auntie, the gogova, neefie, niggie, everyone is registered to vote. Because the time is now to get the ANC government out. Why wait? Your power is in your vote, so let's do it next year, 2024, and register today.
Cabello, tell us quickly what is still coming. What can we expect?
I think before I get into that, I think if we were to take Liam's energy, we'll never have load shedding in this country. It's electrifying. And I think keep doing it. What's coming is our constitutional amendments, and I think Umamu Bridget mentioned this thing that our constitution is a live document. So to realign it and to refine it to the moment, you have to do some amendments, and that's what exactly is going to happen now. And it's also about now. Tomorrow, we are electing our leadership. So today, our federal candidates are also going to give us speeches. And the most entertaining thing, it's for you, Nestle and Dr. Mimi, who is here now, more entertainment that is coming up as well.
So exciting. We have the debates coming up later, so exciting. But before we wrap up, I don't want you guys to leave, but give us your final thoughts.
South Africans, Kabela touched on it. This Congress is not just a Congress for us to have fun as delegates of the Democratic Alliance, but as a Congress that is going to chart the way forward for the next incoming government of South Africa. That is a Democratic Alliance government. So let's stay tuned for those resolutions, those constitutional amendments. And while we're at it and while we're serious, let's break some leg here and there. We have Vicky is here, we have Lloyd, and it's going to be exciting. So stay tuned.
Perfect. So from me, it's got to be this much. Wurmy and wurmy no. Change is on the horizon, right? And it is this Congress. And I want you at home, what you're going to do right now is you're going to take out your notebook, you're going to take out your pen, and you're going to write down, history is being made. This isn't about nice times and fun times, they're here and there. This is about ensuring that the Republic of South Africa has a bright future. And I can guarantee you right now, you write that down in your book and it's going to come true. Believe in that. Feel the energy. Believe in the energy. We've got this.
Manifestation.
Right here.
We are definitely feeling the energy and believing in the energy. Thank you so much, everyone. Wow, time really flew this morning. To our viewers, that's it from us for this morning. And we'll be back here, right here in studio at 1:30.
That's right. As you've heard, There is more exciting Congress coverage still to come. Join us at 1:30 sharp, where we will unpack today's happenings as well as give you a sneak peek into what's in store for this weekend. Make sure to like and share our posts using the hashtag DA Congress 2023. Thanks again, and we will definitely see you later. Sharp and away.
Deleting, delete on.
Thanks for watching. Like and follow our page on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. Please like and share our videos with your friends and family. Join the DA. Join the fight to save South Africa.